Hello friends, welcome to my channel. In today's video, we are going to do the analysis of one of the biggest textile companies of the world, Welspun India. Before we begin, if you're new to the channel, please do subscribe and hit the bell icon. And if you have not joined a Telegram channel, please do join right now as we post daily market analysis and a lot of interesting updates and polls in our Telegram channel as well. So let's get started. So Welspun India is into a variety of textile products relating to bed like bed sheets and all, bathroom like towels, advanced textiles, and they've also ventured into flooring. This is a part of Welspun Group, which is one of the fastest growing business groups in India, and this company has been one of the world leaders in the business it does for about 35 years, and now they are venturing into new avenues like e-commerce, hospitality and wellness. It has presence in more than 50 countries and it has 32 patents, which is the highest in the industry for any company in India. It has 3 manufacturing facilities in India which are almost running at the peak utilization, and they are now going for capacity expansions also. It would be interesting to note for you that 1 out of 5 towels being sold in US is from Welspun, and 1 out of 9 sheets which are sold in US are made by Welspun. So that is the scale of operations of this company and popularity of these brands in US, and this company has won several awards for excellence in products and customer services. So let's talk a bit about the Welspun Group. It is one of the fastest growing business groups in India. They are into several businesses like line pipes, home textiles, infrastructure, steel, advanced textiles and flooring solutions. And among all these businesses related to home textiles, flooring solutions, advanced textiles are a part of the Welspun India company. They are global leaders in the textile segment as well as the line pipes, and this group has presence in more than 50 countries and employs more than 26,000 people. The companies in the group are Welspun India, which is into textiles, and Welspun Corp, which is into pipes and plates, and Welspun Enterprises, which is into infrastructure and energy segments. Now let's talk about the management of Welspun India. Ms. Dipali Goenka is the CEO and joint managing director of this company. She is a very dynamic lady who has been known for taking a good care of their team. She has played a key role in growing Welspun India to a global company and to make it one of the biggest home textile companies in the US. She has been ranked 16th among the most powerful businesswomen in Asia by Forbes, and she is a brand ambassador of We Connect International, and she is the CEO since 2002. Managing director of the company is Mr. Rajesh Mandavewala. He's been with the company as one of the promoters since incorporation, and he's been the managing director of the Welspun Group as well as Welspun India. He is in charge of the operations of the textile business, and he's played a key role in bringing the company to these heights in the last 50 years. He's a chartered accountant by profession, and he has an experience of more than 35 years in textile as well as the other businesses of this group. Now let's understand how this company's journey has been over the last several years. In 1985, it was started first as a small texturing unit under the name Welspun Vinson Silk Mills in Palghar. In 1991, Welspun Polyester India went public with an IPO, and later the name was changed to Welspun India. In 1993, they first set up their terry towel facility in Gujarat. In 2000, they ventured into their business in US with Welspun USA, which was a wholly owned subsidiary, and in 2004-05 they set up a new plant in Gujarat. In 2005, they amalgamated a company called Glowfame Cotspin Industries with Welspun India. In 2005, they commenced manufacturing towels, bed sheets and spinning facilities. In 2006, they acquired a brand called Christie's in UK, which is still one of the most popular brands of this company. In 2009, they went for a demerger of their sales and marketing as well as investments divisions into 2 separate companies called Welspun Global Brands and Welspun Investments and Commercials. And later, the Welspun Global Brands became a subsidiary of Welspun India in 2012. In 2014, they started India's biggest spinning facility in Anjar, Gujarat, and in 2016 again they started another facility which was again the biggest in the country under one roof. In 2015-16, the company had a very tough time when there were quality issues raised by a lot of customers, and one of their biggest customers was Target. In 2017, they ventured into a new line of business which was of floorings, and they also started manufacturing facility for advanced textiles, which was also a new business for the company. In 2018, they developed a technology called WellTrack, using which their customers were able to track their orders right from the raw material stage till the delivery stage. And in 2020, they went for capacity expansion of their home textiles business. So throughout this journey, you might have observed that the company has done a lot of interesting things like acquisitions, licensing, joint ventures, restructuring, expansions, as well as a lot of innovations. And now we hope that the company is going for the next leg of growth, which is Welspun 2.0, in which the company's focus will be on their new business, where advanced textiles and flooring, and also into e-commerce and developing domestic business in India. During the dark phase in 2015-16, the company called Target, which was about 10% of the total business, raised the quality issues of the company, saying that they were using raw materials which were supposed to be Egyptian cotton, but actually were not. So along with Target, there were other customers who also raised quality issues. Later, there were also legal suits filed against the company, and as you can see from the chart, there was a sharp fall in the share price in 2015-16, which continued to be a bearish trend till the beginning of COVID. But the good thing was that company handled the entire bad phase in a very matured manner. They spoke to all the customers and paid all their claims and settled all the customers' complaints. They recalled all the stock in which the customers had complaints. They started sourcing the raw materials only from a single reputed vendor. They developed in-house vertically integrated manufacturing facilities of yarn and spinning. They also developed a technology called WellTrack, where the customers were able to track the entire life cycle of their order, right from the raw material till the finished product and delivery stage, which gave the customers complete confidence in the product which they got from this company. Seeing all these developments, their customers came back to them, and in May 2021, Target, which was one of their major customers, started giving them business again. So I would say that the company has handled everything very well and gained back the reputation lost in a very decent manner. Now let's understand the business model of the company. Broadly, they have three segments of business. One is into home textiles, another one is into advanced textiles, and third one is into flooring. Under home textiles, there are sub-segments like the bed products, bath linen, as well as the rugs and carpets. In advanced textiles, there are three types of fabrics which the company makes, which is spun lace, needle punch, and wet wipes. In flooring, there are several other separate products. Let's talk about the home textiles business, which is their first line of business. Globally, the home textile business is about $123 billion in 2019, and this is expected to reach about $151 billion, growing at an average of about 3.5% every year. Under this segment, the company deals in three subsegments like bed linen, bath linen, as well as the rugs and carpets. They have a very wide product portfolio in the home textile segment. And in bed linen specifically, it includes like the bed covering, bed pillows, blankets, cushion covers, and other products which we generally use in our bedrooms. In bath linen products, they manufacture towels, bathrobes, bath mats, and other products related to our bathroom. Geographically, if you see, US and Europe are their biggest markets, and they have manufacturing plants of home textiles in Vapi and Anjar. In terms of capacity, they have a bath linen capacity of 85,400 metric tons annually, which is used about 95% presently. And in bed linen, they have about 90 million meters capacity, which is used about 97%. In rugs and carpets, the capacity is about 10.8 million square meters, which is utilized 100%. So you can see that in home textiles presently, almost all their facilities are utilized at their peak levels, and hence they are planning expansion in their facilities in home textiles business. And this expansion will result in a revenue of about 1200 crores, and this will start showing up from Q2 FY22 onwards in their financials. In advanced textiles, these are products which are made from non-woven fabric. So this fabric is non-woven and made from other technologies like hydro entanglement and needle punching and thermo bonding. So these kind of technologies are used to make this fabric, and globally this market size is about 193 billion in 2020 and expected to reach about 274 billion in by 2027, growing at about 5%. Using these technologies, they make products like masks and wet wipes, And there are several other products which are manufactured using the advanced textiles technologies, which are used in different industries like automobiles, agriculture, home care, construction, and other industries. Presently, they have a capacity of about 11,000 metric tons, utilized at about 76% for their fabric line, which is spun lace, and about 3783 metric tons used, about 45% for needle punch. And in wet wipes, they have a capacity of 91 million packs, utilized at 49%. So relatively, advanced textiles is a new business and not at their peak utilization, but the company is very positive and they are going for capacity expansion in this as well. And this expansion is to commence in Q4 FY22. They are estimating that the potential top line revenue from this business could be about 6,000 million, which is about 600 crores by FY23. Now coming to their another new line of business, which is into flooring. In flooring, the company makes click and lock tiles, floor to wall carpets, carpet tiles, and green flooring. In the market of flooring is about $388 billion in CY20, expected to grow at about 6% till CY28. The durable flooring market has grown by about 7.5% last year. And for flooring also, their major market would be targeted to US only. They have doubled their capacity for hard flooring in 2021 and they are further planning capacity enhancement, and this is expected to complete by Q3 FY22. In flooring, they have a capacity of about 12.9 million square meters, which is utilized about 30% presently, as this is also relatively a new business. Now, this is one of the unique things about this company. It is not a normal textile company, but they are very much focused in developing and innovating new products and technologies, a few examples of which we will discuss in this slide. First one is hygro cotton. So they have this patented technology where they make very soft towels which are softer and loftier than other brands. They are more absorbent. They have bed sheets which regulate their temperature. The other technology they have developed called Veltrack, as we have discussed, it is able to give their customers information about their orders from the raw material till the finished product stage. The next technology they have developed is called Nano Care. This makes the fabric which is chemical free and which prevents allergies to the users. The next thing which they have developed is called charcoal. This technology makes the textile softer, breathable, and more hygienic, and this has natural anti-odor properties. The next one is called Healthy Floor. This is one of India's first technologies for antiviral flooring. And the last one is Welspun Ecolite. This is related to the eco-friendly products which the company is developing now. Now, if you see the home textiles segmental revenue, it has steadily been growing, and the flooring revenue is also picking up pretty fast. If you see the brands, there are two kinds of models in which the company operates. One is they sell their own homegrown brands, and another one is they license the brands of other companies and sell their products under the licensed brand also. Under their own brands, they have brands like Spaces, Welspun Flooring. In globally, they have their own brands called Christie, Living by Christie, Well Home, Welspun Basics. In license, they have very interesting brands like Wimbledon, Despicable Me, Marvel, Disney. Coming to their clients, if you see in North America, they have all the big names like Walmart, Costco, Bed Bath & Beyond. In UK and Europe, they have IKEA, Tesco. In India, they work with almost all the big retailers like Shoppers Stop, Hometown, DMart, and in the rest of the world, they have the other big brands and retailers as well. Now, let's talk about the industry in which the company operates. The global textile and apparel industry is expected to grow from current $839 billion to about $1,000 billion by 2025. In India, if you see, the domestic market is about $75 billion in FY21. But due to COVID situation, it fell down from about $106 billion in FY20 by 30%. But post of all, there is a sharp reshaped recovery in demand, and from hereafter, it's expected to grow about 10% CAGR till FY26 to reach about $190 billion size. Out of the total textile and apparel market, apparel constitutes about 74% presently, and home textile constitute about 19%. But if you see internally within the textile and apparel market, home textile is expected to grow faster and take a larger share, and it is expected to grow at about 23% CAGR to reach about $42 billion size by FY26. And post this growth, the home textile segment will constitute about 22% from the present 19% share in the total apparel and home textiles segment. And India's exports under this segment will grow to about $65 billion by FY26 at a CAGR of 11%. So what are the key things to observe in this? The entire market size is growing. Home textiles, which is the companies presently into, is growing at a faster rate than the entire industry. The export area is growing at a double-digit growth, which is specifically the main area of revenue for this company. So the company is witnessing good tailwinds in this industry. Apart from this, the company is also getting benefited by a lot of government support in the form of PLI schemes and textile parks, which the government has announced recently. Broadly, there are some trends which we can see in this industry. Customers are shifting towards a lot of sustainable and eco-friendly products, and which the company is also focusing on. Customers are preferring branded products from unbranded ones. They are preferring online shopping, where the company is also focusing on e-commerce. And post-COVID, the customers are preferring products which are healthy and safe for their well-being. Who are the major competitors in the listed space for this company? Agarwal Technical Fibers, Trident, Indocount Industries, GHCL, these are the main competitors in this space. Trident seems to be a more comparable competitor, as a lot of customers between Trident and Welspun India are common. What are the competitive strengths of this company compared to the other companies in this space? The company is one of the global leaders in bed, bath and flooring. They have a very wide product portfolio, and they have several brands under their basket. They also license one of the biggest brands of the world. They have the highest market share in US, as we have seen. One out of 5 towels and 1 out of 9 bed sheets in the US are from Welspun India. They have a very dominant market share in UK and India, and they are presently focusing on the domestic business, and they want to grow it into a major chunk out of their total revenue. They are one of the biggest exporters of home textile in India. They are partners for biggest global brands of the world, and their distribution is spread in more than 50 plus countries across the world. This is a very well vertically integrated company which procures cotton and produces products till they are ready to be sold on the shelf. They keep developing new technologies, and until now they have registered 32 patents, which is the highest in the industry in India. What are the growth prospects of this company in the near future? Their plants are operating at one of the highest capacities, and hence the company is growing for capacity additions. They have several brands under their umbrella, and they will keep monetizing their brands in an extensive way. They are entering into new businesses like flooring and advanced textiles, which are sunrise sectors, and they have observed that post-COVID people are doing a lot of online shopping, and hence they are focusing a lot on the e-commerce business. It's not a normal textile company, and they will continue to innovate, and that's how they will be better than their competitors. And they were trying to implement more and more digitalization in their business and automating their entire processes. As you can see, they are entering into their second phase of growth, which is Welspun 2.0, by focusing on all these strategies. And their advanced textiles business is expected to give a revenue of about 600 crores by FY23. They are doubling their capacity in their flooring business, and they are focusing a lot on their domestic business along with their export business, with their new movement or strategy called Har Ghar Welspun. What are the risks which this company might face? Unavailability of raw material or price fluctuations in raw materials, which will affect the margins of business. Since the company gets majority of revenue from export, there would be forex risk. There could be over dependence on geographies like US and Europe, because their major business comes from their two continents. They have a lot of competition from other companies, although this company has big brands to compete with them. There could be several trade barriers imposed by the other countries in which they do business. The logistics cost post-COVID, which everybody is facing, has increased, which could pose disturbances for this company. Cybersecurity risk is also with this company as with the others. And like in the past, the company has to be very careful that they don't make any mistake, and there shouldn't be any question raised about the quality of the products of this company, and they have to protect their brand image very well. Now let's discuss the numbers, and let's do the financial analysis. Starting with the quarterly numbers. In revenue, we'll compare year on year Q1 FY22 versus 21. The revenue was about 1216 crores in FY21, which increased to 7 crores by about 83%. EBITDA increased by about 93%, and EBITDA margins became better to better from 19.6 to 20.6% by 106 basis points. Profit after tax grew from 49 crores to about 217 crores, so there was a huge jump in profit after tax. And home textiles revenue grew by about 80%. Home textile EBITDA also grew by about 84%, and the flooring revenue grew from 25 crores to about 121 crores. So segment wise also the growth has been very good, but the flooring EBITDA is still negative, and this business has not yet become profitable. In terms of volumes also, if you see, the bath linen sales volume grew by about 51%, bed linen by about 114%, rugs and carpets by about 219%, and interestingly their e-commerce business has also grown by about 45%. So the quarterly numbers of Q1 FY22 have been very impressive. Coming to the yearly numbers, let's compare the last 5 years numbers. Revenue has been steadily growing and reached about 7,340 crores in FY21. EBITDA has been slightly inching up and reached about 1,352 crores in FY21. EBITDA margins have stagnated somewhere around 18%. The profit after tax has gone up to about 540 crores in FY21. The profit after tax margins have stabilized somewhere around 7%, and the EPS has gone up to 5.37. The reserves are steadily growing. The borrowings are reduced to about 2,940 crores in FY21. The company has done capex, and the fixed assets have gone up to about 3,800 crores, and the inventory levels do not have any abnormal movements. The trade receivables are fairly constant, and there are no abnormal movements in trade receivables as well. The cash equivalents have gone up to about 399 crores, so in terms of liquidity the company is doing pretty well. Free cash flow, the company has been generating free cash flows all throughout the last 5 years, and they have gone up to about 500 crores in FY21 in spite of the capex done by the company. ROC is about 15%, which is decent although not very impressive. Data days are somewhere around 59, which is pretty good for this company. The inventory turnover ratio is fairly constant at about 4 times. Now let's talk about the shareholding pattern. The promoters hold about 70%, which is very impressive. FIIs and DIIs about 7% each. So there is good promoter holding as well as good institutional holding. The left out share with the public is just about 15 to 16% only. The share capital has been constantly same. It's a dividend paying company, although the dividend yield is just about 0.09%. Debt to equity ratio is 0.8, so debt is fairly under control. The stat auditors are one of the big fours, which are SRBC and Company LLP. The remuneration to Mr. Rajesh is about 9 crores and Ms. Dipali is about 10 crores. Now coming to the valuation part, the last trade price was somewhere around 160 rupees, and 52-week high and low is about 62 to 170. In last 5 years, it has given an average of about 23% return, and last 3 years 37%, and last 1 year about 131%. So the stock has performed pretty well and made their investors happy. The market cap is about 16,000 crores and PE is about 22. Last 5 years, median P is about 15, the industry P is about 27. The TTM EPS is about 7 and the face value is just 1, it's not 10. Book value is about 36 rupees, so PB ratio comes to about 4.4. In terms of market cap to sales, it's about 1.94, which is fairly decent. So in terms of valuation, it is slightly overpriced. Now let's see the chart. Somewhere around 120 to 140 could be a good accumulation range if somebody wants to enter the stock based on their analysis, and at 120 the TTM comes to about 17, which looks pretty reasonable looking at the company's growth plans as well as the government support to encourage the textile sector and its exports. So this is about Welspun India. I hope you liked the video and found it pretty interesting, and I hope you got to know new interesting facts about the company and the industry. To just sum it up, the company has a very good reputation in terms of their promoters as well as their brands. Globally, it's a well-known company with its diversified portfolio of brands. It's a sunrise sector as the government is lending a lot of support to this sector. The fundamentals of the company are pretty decent, and the company is venturing into new lines of business like flooring as well as advanced textiles. It's an innovative company developing new technologies and registering patents, and they have extensive capex and growth plans coming up. There have been issues in the past, so you have to be very careful that there are no quality issues in the future which get repeated for this company. In terms of valuations, it's a slightly expensive stock, and you can look at the support levels and accumulate the stock on dip in case you choose to invest in this sector and you like the company's fundamentals. So that's about Welspun India. I hope you like the video. Please subscribe the channel and hit the bell icon and hit the like button if you like the video. Don't forget to join our Telegram channel to be in touch on a daily basis with market analysis and lots of interesting discussions there. Thank you for watching this video and have a wonderful day.